Hey guys, welcome back this morning. I hope you had a really great day trading yesterday. So today is Thursday, March 20th. Yesterday was the 19th, and we had the FOMC rate decision. And it was a really fun day of trading. We did open SPY with a small gap up above the 35 EMA. And then from there, we did come up while we were waiting for the rate decision. We came up into this down gap and almost filled it, got pushed back out down to the 35 EMA. And then for the rate decision and Jerome Powell, we did bounce right there, take it all the way up to close this down gap to the top of the implied move, and then between the top of the implied move and the next day's implied move, there was a great opportunity to sell spreads right here. So we did take it all the way to the 30-minute 200 moving average, and then we saw that as resistance. When the 35 EMA is trading underneath the 30-minute 200 moving average, that 30-minute tends to be resistance until we pull this 35 EMA up, and that's going to be what we look for in the next 2 days here. Does this 35 EMA cross back up and give us a bullish signal? Or does it come up and do we get rejected here and see more downside? So we did get pushed down here at the 30-minute 200 moving average, and we also had this bear gap right here from last Monday's open. So a decent amount of resistance running through that bear gap. We do have the 200-day moving average, which is still slightly pointing up, and the 35 EMA, which has started to tilt downward. So that should definitely be a resistance level on your radar. That's also the top of that bear gap. SPX, we saw the same thing over here. We opened with a small gap up above the 35 EMA, came up into this bear gap from Tuesday, almost filled it, got pushed back down to the 35 EMA, and then we took it from there up above the top of the implied move right here, and we saw resistance at this bear gap and this 30-minute 200 moving average. Both SPY and SPX did close within the implied move. Let me take it to SPY real fast. Top of the implied move was 568. We closed just underneath that, 567.13. And SPX also, we did close underneath the implied move, 56.85, and 56.75 is where we closed. So definitely yesterday we did see a lot of great spread selling opportunities. So 30-minute 200 moving average, still resistance here, and we did close SPY up 1.09%. Implied move yesterday was 1.18%. SPX closed up 1.08%. VIX, we have already moved on to today. So in pre-market today, VIX is up, and we did close within the implied move for both. So QQQ, we did open here with a small gap up, and it does look like we filled it completely. So no gap left over here, and then we took it up to this down gap and initially got rejected back down to the 35 EMA, but then the rate decision and Chair Powell's speech did take us all the way up to the top of the implied move. You could see only wick above that. So 483 was the top of the implied move. We did close at 480.89. So if you took this order 483, 485, and even if you sold that without looking, maybe you put in an order for half of that width before market opened, that would have closed up 100% for you, as we did come back down to close within the implied move. So 30-minute 200 moving average, same thing here, acting as resistance for now. We also have this down gap right here, so resistance gap from last week, but we did see resistance right here, pretty much to the penny where we saw it on Monday. So we got pushed back down into the implied move, and we did close up 1.34%. Implied move was 1.52%. VXN closed down 8.63%, and we did close within the implied move yesterday. And one thing I'm noticing before we move forward, here we have equal highs right here and lower highs right here. So not a true divergence, but we are seeing a weakness in strength right here. All right, IWM opened up above the 35 EMA. And from there, we did come up into this down gap from Tuesday, almost completely filled it before getting pushed back out. Bounced on this 35 EMA, so Fed rate decision and Jerome Powell brought us back above this 35 EMA, and then we bounced above the 30-minute 200 moving average, and we took it to the top of the implied move. 207, 208 would have been a great spread to sell while we were up here towards the end of the day, because we did get pushed back in to close within the implied move. We did close above the 30-minute 200 moving average. The 35 EMA, however, is still underneath the 30-minute 200 moving average, so keep an eye on this level because we could see it go either way here. If we pull this 35 EMA up and through, then maybe we'll see more upside towards these moving averages, and they are facing down, so expect resistance if we do pop up, but we also could get rejected here, and this is still bearish. Same thing here, we have lower highs in Stupid Willie and higher highs in price action. That is a bearish divergence and a bearish setup in the moving averages. And lastly, we have DIA. DIA opened with a small gap up, taking it down to Tuesday's down gap. We did fill that completely before coming back down. This 200-day moving average right here pushed us back down to the 35 EMA, and then Jerome Powell and the rate decision pushed us up, and we did see that 30-minute 200 moving average as resistance, and that did bring us back down a little bit back to the 200-day moving average. So big level, higher highs here, lower highs here, and DIA did close up 0.93%. IWM, let's go back there really quickly because I don't believe I mentioned that IWM closed up 1.56%, RVX down 5.97%, and we did close within the implied move. So yesterday we closed within the implied move across the board. So if you were selling spreads at the extremes yesterday, and it didn't even have to be at the extremes, 30-day average up here, just at the top of the implied move, had perfect spread setups. All you had to do is wait for the price to come up there and sell spreads, and that would have paid as it came back down. All right, good stuff. That was a recap of FOMC. Right now, futures are down. We are down in pre-market, and I am going to end this video here. Have fun today, trade safe, make sure you guys take profits when you're up, and I will see you guys later today.